Good afternoon and happy spring, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes. It is a happy end of winter kind of day around here. We're looking forward to it.
We got spring this morning and snow tonight, baby.
We had 87 degrees yesterday down here in the hometown. And today it's somewhere around 40 degrees. And this is what it is in West Virginia. It is. The weather is definitely wild and weird. Let's put it that way.
This morning, whenever I got up with the kids, I took a bag out of trash out to the dumpster, and it was 68, 70 degrees this morning, early. Warm breeze mixed with a cool breeze. You could feel them both kind of moving. And it did nothing but drop all day. And now there's a chance of flurries. Nothing's going to stick. But the fact that we took that big of a swing, it's nuts.
I'm really surprised we didn't get any thunderstorms or anything on top of that, just because the weather dropped so fast. But
so suddenly.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, let's get everybody welcome in because the rooms are filling up, everybody.
Donna's in the house. What's going on, Donna? Oz in the Woods, Gary Schuler, James Nelson, Uveru's in the house. Dances with Orbs. How we doing? We've got LR celebrated yesterday about 125 miles worth. Oh, nice. You were out there on the bike cruising.
Nice.
Where all you ride at, LR?
Nice.
Let's see. We've got Gary Schul. Yeah, everybody. Y'all just keep talking. There we go. What's going on, Watcher Files? Good to see you tonight. LW says last day of winter, 72. First day of spring, cold as Hades. And the lowest level.
That works.
It's accurate.
That tracks.
Oh man, Terry McCullough's in the house, and we got LW Marshall kicking in the door straight out before the show even started.
Little over a week until the gathering, yes, and we'll be talking about that first things first, just as soon as we get through the people.
Yep, can't wait to see you guys.
Your Mothman might be there.
Never know. Jordan Booker, Jen, Linda Sigmund, Kenny Hess. How are y'all doing? Good to see you tonight. Nikki Bennett jumped in. We've got Octopus in the room. Power Band has made it.
On time.
Vincent Ellison is... Why won't it let me show your... There it is. I had to click on somebody else's comment to bring Vincent's up.
Weird.
I don't know what's going on. Vincent, good to see you. We've got two more people who have thrown in the hat. We've got Gary Schuler. What's going on,
Gary? Blessings, Gary.
Thank you. Where did they go?
Tacos.
It's raining tacos.
Yeah.
LR Miller, what's going on, LR? Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Bless.
Then we got Trackway in the house. The whole Trackway clan seems to be here now. Where did I just had finding the Trackway here, and then all of a sudden the
Trackways, where are they at?
I don't know. They were right here. Here we go.
There we go.
I found at least one of his comments. Then we got Jen in here as well. I think I saw Miss Trackway up there too. And I think that rounds us out.
Okay, that's cool.
Trackway, we're getting into your video stuff here soon. We have been insanely busy. But we'll get with you. I saw your text message just before I came in down here, but it's been a week. It has been a week, and I'll spare you the disgusting, gruesome details.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got a little virus running through the house,
Oh
and
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
just leave it right there. It's yeah. But anything else going on other than that?
No, no, that's
No.
everything came to a grinding halt on Monday.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
and and it hasn't picked back up since. So
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Well, folks, just showing you the goals over there. The goal is 3 out of 10 right now at 10. When we hit, well, actually, it's 9.
we're at 4.
But what?
4 out of
Yeah,
10.
we're 4 out of 10. Sorry, he's right. We're 4 out of 10. So ignore that little number that says 3/10. It's 4/10. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the counter got added
yeah,
in just after LW had jumped in the
yeah.
ring.
Or either way, once it hits it, we're good to go. So don't worry about it. But we are going to be showing a exclusive clip next week of the upcoming next month's Paranormal Horizons, and there's a big surprise with all that
Yeah.
that we'll talk about next week. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but let's just say next month will be a very big month for Horizons.
Indeed.
And I don't know. Will Joe get irradiated? You're just going to have to tune in and find out.
It seems to be the trend.
But
Here's your prize. Then Dances with Orbs jumped in right
Dance with them
behind.
orbs and tacos and owls and aliens, guys, or NHI. Sorry,
Speaking
tacos,
of
owls,
aliens,
and NHI. I should have made him hold a taco.
should have been Trackway. Thank you, brother. Kenny Hess, thank you, thank you,
Kenny,
thank you.
multiple blessings, everyone. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
who now? Who do I want
It's
to do
going to be
now?
an amazing, amazing first meeting.
Oh,
These
absolutely.
folks
This is
have
gonna be a
just,
blast.
yeah, it's awesome.
Adam says, I am here
I am
in
here.
more ways than one. So, who all's excited for this bad boy?
I'm excited for this. I'm very excited for this. I may be more excited for this than I am for the lives every Thursday, just because it's going to be in person. It's going to be fun. We're going to be able to show some things that have never been seen before. That's going to be a lot of fun right there.
Indeed.
And we're just gonna have a good time. I mean, it's gonna be a good time. Don't think that it's gonna be one of those boring situations where you sit and you listen to a bunch of lectures. That's not how this rolls.
No, there's going to be
It's gonna be
tacos.
fun. There's tacos, guys.
It'll be raining
Tacos.
tacos.
I don't know about raining tacos, but there will be tacos. There will definitely be tacos. And I've been told that there will be bacon or bacon products of some sort at this thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because if there isn't, this is the last one. I'm cutting all of you off. We will not do this again. We'll turn this spaceship around and head back the other way.
So, who all have you guys gone over and RSVP'd yet to give us a head count on Facebook? And if you haven't,
A semi-accurate count.
yeah,
Let me
roughly.
go ahead and let me grab that and
Yeah,
put
just
that
throw
in
a link
here.
up in the chat. That way they
Yo,
can
yeah,
divert and go
let me
click
grab
away.
it and put it in there because it will help us to get a better idea of what we need to do.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of Taco Bell,
Oh
I
no.
fear no chimichanga, for
Oh
Adam
no.
Goodart with me. He
Oh
always
no.
has hot or mild sauce.
Oh,
Man, you want to talk
he
about being in the shadow of Taco Bell.
he
The Taco
does.
Bell down near the West Virginia State Capitol is always, always out of hot and mild sauce. I don't know what they're doing,
Yeah,
but
they
they're
are.
always out.
You know, that's one of the better Taco Bells out there. I'm just
Oh yeah,
gonna
yeah.
throw
It
that out there.
Yep, it really is.
Yeah, yeah. I always get that. What's that box they got?
Yes, that's
The
the craving box.
the cravings box. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
$7. And if
You
you use
can't.
the app, you know you get it for 6.
And do you know that if you buy those individually, that's almost like $11 worth of food
Yeah.
that you're getting for
And
7 bucks?
ladies and gentlemen, we are not sponsored by Taco Bell
No,
yet,
no.
but we could be.
We could be. We very well could be,
But for
but
real,
we're not.
if it's cheaper if you use the app, you save like
Yeah,
10%. So 100% every
and
time
you can customize those
you
boxes.
can.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah,
It's really
absolutely.
handy, and it takes them the amount of time for me to walk from my building to that Taco Bell to get my food done, so it's, like, perfect every
That's
time.
perfect, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
works out
Well,
great.
yeah, that's great. What
Everybody's like, "This has turned into a great big commercial for Taco Bell
it really did, and I don't know why it did because, we're
because
gonna
it's
have
raining tacos, Ron,
well, it's
from
gonna
out
be
of the sky, tacos, and I don't know why.
it's Joe Taco,
Just
and,
open your mouth and close your eyes because it's raining tacos.
oh god. Anyway, um, yeah, as Jesse would say, "Oh god." Um, we have 21 confirmed going right now, with 14 interested. So, you 14 who are on the fence, um, pick a side because we kinda gotta know what we're doing,
Yes,
at this point. We've got, I don't wanna let I don't wanna I don't even be left out, I don't want someone to be there and be like they get up there to the plate, right? And, oh, there's one broken taco shell. And, there's like 10 people and they're looking at this taco shell and the misery. I can feel the misery from right here, right now, through
right.
time and space. That's misery. We've all been there. We've all seen the last chip in the bag. We've all seen that
Yep.
and felt that.
We wanna make
Terrible.
sure that we got everybody covered.
Yeah.
So make sure at least give us an idea, of who I was gonna be there just to help me, with the head count for how much food I gotta make.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, everybody else talk over there and tell them what you're bringing, because it is a potluck type thing too.
Yeah, yeah, bring
So
desserts, bring some side
yeah,
dishes, anything you want.
yeah, I saw some people sitting there bringing some stuff. So yeah, that way, it's not doubled up or whatever. You guys can talk amongst yourself and figure that out. But we got you
Trap says, "You
tacos.
know what makes a taco better? Bacon."
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there will
And
be
I've
bacon, you
I've
guys.
heard that's a thing, guys. That's a thing. It's a full taco bar. You're gonna
Yep.
love it from especially considering it is from Joe Taco. And
Joe
you
Taco.
yeah,
That's the name of a new food truck.
yeah. I've been thinking about this. And
Oh,
it's
man.
not a food truck though. It's a yeah, we'll talk about
We'll
it later.
we'll we'll brainstorm it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But
I'll
yeah, I
find one of those mascot outfits and wear it.
think you already got one. But yep, yep. Joe Taco, everybody. Joe
Jordan
Taco.
Booker keeping it free for
Thank you,
all
Jordan.
eternity. Thank you, Jordan. You are
Thank you.
awesome. We are one away from hitting the goal for next week's
Oh wow.
review.
So fast.
And
You guys are just absolutely killing it.
really are. Thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah,
you. Jordan
absolutely.
Booker, here it comes. Blessings from the Sky Daddy himself.
Multiple blessings. Folks, if you have not shared, subscribed, and all that fun, happy media, social media stuff, just do it. That way you can stay up to date with everything we're doing. And there is a lot that is coming
Yep.
this year. And that's all I can say about that. There is a lot coming. You're going to see the first part of it next weekend, right, Joe? And
Yes.
that's the meeting. That's the one thing we told you it was going to happen. It's happening. So every time we tell you something's happening, it's happening. It's a
Ada Cox
one of those
just
things.
pushed us over the fence. Ada, thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you, Ada. Blessings to you and your owls. All right, wonderful. So, how many of you folks out there in the viewer land at this point are going to show up, like right here? And just what would you like to see? Because we already know what we're going to do,
Yeah.
but it can pivot because again, you did this. This is yours. Again, it's the same thing. So, if there's something in particular that you want to see, us bring or show up with, then by all means put it in there. Let's look at it. Let's see. Because again, you did it, so you're getting something from it. We're getting something from it anyway, but it's kind of cool that you can actually drive the boat a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Jen says, I want to go, but not sure about the dog and the overnight stay. Probably won't be a thing. Oh, that's a bummer, but we get it. We get it.
We
Some of
got
these,
that.
some of the folks, if it's an overnight jaunt, we understand
Yep.
why, because it's, and that's one of the reasons why we definitely wanted to keep these in-house funded to
Yep.
where, it wasn't going to cost anybody to come hang out, do the thing, and see people they are friends with,
Yep.
any
Yep.
more than it should. And the overnight stay that kind of puts a sting on it, and I get it. We 100%.
And there's going to be quarterly, right? So
Yeah.
hold that, because you never know what's going to happen in the future that you might want to make that leap for, instead of doing it for every other one or so forth and so on. So
Yep.
just keep watching, because there are some big things that
there
are
will
coming.
be some big people show up at these things. Yes.
That's all that you can say.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. So,
But not the first one. But not the first one. You already know those people. They're boring.
Yeah. Right.
But they have tacos.
Trackway says we'll be there.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
LR will probably be there. I know that Power Band is coming because they said they were last week. I think Octopus is going to make the trip from the Northeast. I think he's going to drive the whole 18 hours.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Better get good with that astral projection, Octo.
Yeah, right. Beth says, I know that y'all are going to kill me, but what exact day was that again? Give me 1 second, Beth, and I'll throw it back up here. But it is the 29th of this month from 4 to 9 p.m. Now, you don't have to stay the whole time. Like if you guys were driving from a long distance and you don't have a hotel and you got to make the jump back, that last little bit of it is going to be us outside doing stuff. And if you want, you can take off, really, honestly, even after we eat. It's up to you. If you just want to drop in, say hi, then, buzz out. It's up to you. This is your event. You guys can come and party with us and have a good time, learn some things, go over some stuff, meet some people face to face. It'll be a blast.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Watcher 5 says, we'd love to make it, but I'm hoping to have the kids' soccer schedules in the next 48 hours to be sure where the hey, I know how that goes.
Well, if you can, wonderful. If not, that's okay. Because again, there's 3 more this year. And I can promise you there's one of those.
Will be coming to you anyway.
Yeah. We'll be seeing you soon either way.
Now that spring has sprung, we will be seeing you soon.
Yeah. Now that mud season's almost over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
LW says Mary and I are coming. It's just a 3-hour drive. That's not bad. Gary Schuler says 3.5 hour for Kelly and me overnight in lovely West Virginia. Good to see you guys are coming too.
Wonderful.
So we got LW. Is your daughter coming with you, or just will be you and Mary? So far, I'm seeing 4, 5, possibly 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13.
Oh, Linda, she's got 4 or 5 in their car.
Terry's coming on Friday night. Terry, that's awesome, man. We appreciate you making the jump up this way for this hangout. I know that's a drive for you. So we're already sitting near right around the 20 to 25 people.
So almost all the people who checked in. Looks like we know who checked in and who didn't now, don't we?
All right.
We know our people right here. That's who checked in. Now we have 21 over here that are going with
Beth's going to be there. Got a sitter. She's going to be coming up.
Oh my God. Well, there you go, guys. That was unexpected. So you're actually going to get Beth from Wineberry, who will be there. That just opened up the door to a whole new side of this thing that I didn't know was going to happen. So it's already happening. Weird stuff's already happening. Good stuff.
Oh, Adam? Gary Childers hitting the Hatfield Distillery on the way in. My wife is friends with one of the owners of that. They went to college together. That's cool. Let's
that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be great.
I'll bring some 4 roses. Well, that you are a gentleman and a scholar there, LW. It's gonna be a blast. I can't wait. That event's gonna be so fun. We are gonna be having the Mantis out with us. We're probably gonna bring the rest of our gear too. We're going to be doing some data reveals, some stuff that we haven't shown before. Some of it's old stuff, some of it's maybe new stuff. Never know how new it's gonna be. But definitely some stuff that we've been into. Bringing my new print, awesome.
There's some stuff you won't see.
Yep,
You haven't
that is
seen.
awesome.
So yeah, there's gonna be some really cool stuff there.
Yeah.
We're gonna reveal, like you said, some data. And we're gonna talk about things. And I'm gonna try my best to get everybody to not talk too much about what goes on there because you're gonna get to see some stuff.
It'll only be like a week early.
Yeah, it'll be a week early. You're gonna get to see stuff.
So it won't be too bad.
Not too bad. It'll be good. It'll be good. Vincent wants
TR3B UFO people.
Vincent wants us to bring the TR3B, apparently. Yeah.
I want to save money to go back east to West Virginia. My son lives in Independence, Kentucky. Maybe I could get over to West Virginia when I'm visiting him if y'all got something going on during then. If we don't, we can make something going on during that visit for you, Donna.
Little place called Point Pleasant. You know, it's pretty cool.
All you got to do is tell us when you're coming. We will meet you in Point Pleasant. We will give you the 4-star tour and take you around and show you all the good spots.
Probably get you, a dose of radiation while you're there. It'll be good times. Good times. Good times. Anyway, that's wonderful. Everybody's going to have so much fun. I don't know what all actually is going to happen out there. Will we need to sign an NDA in a skiff? Well, you might. I don't know yet, LW.
That's what we can call the meeting room.
It's the skiff. Welcome to the skiff, everyone. Anyway, so speaking of which, there's a little news about skiffs and UFOs and all that stuff. A little bit,
just a little bit
of news. Dances, what got so excited last night? Saw bright light passing over and yanked out my camera, started recording, and then the rest of Starlink appeared. I got one for you better than that.
Well, so we had 2 meteorites buzz through in the same general direction 2 days apart from each other. Mm-hmm. One of them was on Saturday night, and my wife and Rowan and I caught it. And then we went out and we saw some UFOs, and Rowan got to document some UFOs, and it was really freaking cool. Then 2 days later on Monday night, the next video is captured. And if you go to the Wild and Weird Talk page and look up the Watcher Files, the West Virginia Watcher Files, Brianna posted it. She caught an awesome video as it was buzzing overhead. So that was really, really cool. That's almost identical to the one I saw, except for what we saw was green. It was like neon fluorescent green.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to try to get this one here for you guys. Actually, I'm doing it right now for you.
LR said, I got an idea. Glowing Joe's Tacos.
Glowing Joe's Tacos. LR, that's it. We'll cut you in.
Great.
That's cool. Yeah. We'll give you a creator's fee on that.
Oh, man.
Well, Glowing Joe's Magical
I'll write down the recipe for you guys, too. And that's what we'll call them. This recipe is forever known as Glowing Joe's Tacos.
Glowing Joe's Magical Tacos, son. I'll tell you, there's nothing like them. They're magical.
Yes, Tony, one of them hit the ground in Arkansas or around Arkansas is what they're suspecting. And the other one went down in the Kentucky, Missouri area.
Oh, did it actually go down? I didn't know.
There was some people who found possible small fragments. I saw it this morning, and they're taking them to get them tested to see if they really
that's nice.
Metals.
Lucky dogs.
So they're going to go and take them and get them checked. But yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I had no idea they actually did that. So,
Yeah, I mean the chunk that they were showing was like this big,
well, that'd be about right. But
but they were taking it to get it tested to see if it was, you know,
yeah,
space metals.
space metal. Well, I caught something really cool the other day. I'm trying to get this video to work. So we'll see if I can get it to work. If I can, I'm going to upload it here, and you guys will get to see it.
Jason Ratliff, thanks for jumping in. It says
Oh, it's
far
very
too cloudy in
good.
the eastern panhandle tonight to see anything. Been that way all day. Yeah, it's been really cloudy here. Last night was super clear. Went out and I did see one thermal target in the brief moment that I was out there in between giving Motrins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Beth says Rachel and I saw something fly over my mountain, looked like it crashed, and went and tried to find it and found nothing. It probably was that. It was probably one of the meteorites that buzzed over. You could tell they were coming down fast.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that's what it was.
Yep.
All right, I think I got this thing. Let's see. Did I or did I not? Let me see.
Tony says, remember, folks, the difference between a meteor and a meteorite is that a meteorite has the right stuff to hit the ground. That's right.
It does. And if it just floats around in space, it's called a meteoroid.
Yep.
For you guys who don't know. And yeah, I got it. All right, cool. Yay. All right. Now I just gotta mail it to myself.
The one that we saw actually started its descent almost right above our house, and then shot out towards Kentucky. So you probably saw the same one that that would have been coming on Monday, maybe, because ours was on Saturday night.
There we go.
LR says, but what's the difference between a meteorite and a meteor wrong? Two lefts.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. That's what. Right now, it's
Angie's in the house. Good to see you.
Hello. Welcome. More
Nancy
people showing up.
Signature, Joe. Yes. We did get a Rowan and I recorded some interesting footage, and it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. You guys who are coming next week will get to see it. We're gonna show it there for sure. It was pretty interesting because one of them comes like I showed my neighbor who is he's a state trooper, but he's also getting ready to get his commercial pilot's license. He's in his like final stages of flights with the basically getting up his hours. That's the last thing he has to do. And I showed it to him and he flipped out. He can't wait to get up in the sky because he wants to see one of these things eye to eye.
Did you remind him that, of your radiation exposure? He probably doesn't.
Yeah, well, I told him about that, and I told him, I was like, well, you might want to grab a thermal too, because I don't know if you were going to be able to see these.
Yeah. And that's kind of scary if you really think about that.
Yeah, it really is. Finding the Trackway says, remember that woman that got struck by a meteorite in her living room? I remember the pictures were in black and white.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like that day is like God's just you in particular.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the longest range ludicrous shot ever. Meteorite sniper rifle.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be that? What was that? The rods from God. That was the.
Yeah, that's what those were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what that was. Let's see. We'll copy that to here. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. It's never easy. There's always a technical hurdle of some sort.
Always.
The things you got to do. Sometimes they're ridiculous.
So in the news, Ron, we've got old Grush coming back in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Allegedly.
And you're the one that brought it up and reminded me about it. Cause like, I remember hearing that he was working on a possible documentary, and
that's right.
Then you asked me today if I'd heard about the news, and I had not. So you filled me in. So let's go ahead and why don't you fill these folks in?
Well, it just seems that he is getting ready to take center stage again. Because he disappeared for like 2 years now,
Yeah.
And everyone expected.
Isn't it crazy? It's been that long.
Mhm. And everyone really expected him to come out, and do something with this whole disclosure thing, but there were other, I think, things in the way, and we'll learn more about that soon. But apparently, Representative Anna Paulina Luna, again, working on that big disclosure task force thing that they're doing, right?
Yeah.
She said that Representative Eric Burleson has hired UFO whistleblower David Grush as a staffer, and they're going to be looking into the UAP phenomena. So we're going to see how this goes down.
It'd be interesting
I'm
to
not
see.
sure. It's going to be interesting. Hey,
Yeah.
Ashley, welcome aboard. I wonder if Ashley's going to want to come down to Joe Tacos.
Yeah. Glow and Joe's Tacos.
Glow and Joe's Tacos, Ashley. That's the name of the tacos.
But yeah, it's really
Gee.
interesting that after 2 years that they're bringing him back out. And what changed?
Yeah, what changed? What who made the change? What
Yeah.
caused that? That's the serious question that we really
Well,
need to be asking at this point.
I think Burchett had a little to do with it. If I'm just taking shots in the dark.
I would think you might be right on that, just for the simple fact of, you know, um, he is kind of no nonsense when it comes to this subject. And I think it would be one of the situations where it's like, well, I mean, if he knows what he's doing, let's bring him in. One of those kind of
Right.
situations. That's
Right.
literally how I think that would go down.
Well, it seemed
And
like Burchett got pretty close to Grush at one point
yeah,
in the midst of all this, because he has always held him out there as like, hey, this was he's legit. He
yeah.
stood up. He was incredulous. This is it. Ashley Hill says, do tacos come with extra radiation or can I get them without?
That's
So
going to be
they're all
extra.
rats.
You can get, yeah, you can get an extra helping of rads if you're into that stuff, you weirdo. But sure, why not? I mean, Joe is, so.
Right. Sour cream, guac, and radiation.
I mean,
So now that we're here in this spot where we have this task force that's moving forward,
yes,
and they're clearly, we thought for the longest time that they were just kind of going to be moving systematically. They've released the JFK information.
right.
The suspense was killing me. Got it over the top there on the YouTube side. Thank you, Eyes in the Woods. You're awesome.
Oh, did we make it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we made it earlier, and she put it over on the official count.
Oh, awesome. You guys are going to, yeah, there's going to be some really cool stuff you'll get to see next week then.
Here we go. Glowing Joe's Tacos so much better than Immortan Joe's Barbecue.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So I got this thing to load. So I'm going to put it up here now, let you guys see it. And we're going to discuss it for just a little bit and let you guys figure out, what are you looking at? Okay. Because the answer is very interesting. Let's see if this works. It should work. Joe, roll that footage. Can you make it bigger?
Got it.
There it
You
is.
got it. There it is.
Make Tony's face go away.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Anyway, you guys can see this, right?
Oh, yeah.
See that little guy? So I was just getting in the car the other morning. I noticed the moon. There was a little light moving by it. I'm like, what? Has to be like a satellite, right? And I kept watching it, and so I just started recording it. And there it goes. It's just kind of speeding along. This was yesterday morning. So anybody care to guess what that could have been?
Was it? Well, it was yesterday morning. So it wasn't the return rocket, was it?
Nope. It surely wasn't. Let me see. Here it is.
Beth is peddling the kittens again.
Oh,
So this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I
I'll
have a
tell you
special
what.
litter of Wineberry kittens,
Tell
spooky
you
kittens,
what.
born 3 days ago.
If I, yeah, if that white one would have been a female, that yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably did that one. That's pretty awesome. Albino, that's rare,
Yeah.
and I like me some rare things.
Question: should I stop by the dentist's office and borrow some lead bibs so we can talk to Joe up close next week?
No, he's not that bad.
You should be okay.
Yeah, he's
Theoretically.
definitely he's good. Don't worry. Because, a lot of it has probably dissipated at this point, so he'll be all right. Don't worry. You'll be fine. All right, I got it. All right, you guys get your guesses in. I want to know what you guys think that was. I
Anita's
want to
in the
see if
house.
anybody gets it right.
All right, I'm going to run it through one more time. Okay, guys?
Yeah, pay attention. I want you
Here we
to
go.
tell me. Let's see if you can figure it out. What are we looking at?
The ISS?
It's a good guess.
The
I
speed?
thought that. I thought that
Speed's
at
about
first.
right.
Well, I thought that at first, and you know,
Vincent says a whistleblower going home.
oh man, that was good. That was really, really good.
Linda says weather satellite.
Keep going. Joe's the closest.
Power band says a drone.
No, absolutely not. Joe is the closest that we've got so far. Because
The
that's what I thought too. It is not the ISS.
Yeah, the track and the speed was about right for ISS. At least that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But it was moving the wrong direction now that I know what orientation you're looking at.
Yeah, it was definitely not the ISS.
Yeah, it's the wrong direction. Because now I've figured out the orientation where that was shot at. I know what part of the sky you're looking at now.
Yeah, I'm looking over toward so what is it?
Enzo says the Tiangong space station.
Oh my God. Someone actually figured this out, and I can't believe it. Yes, Enzo.
The Chinese space station.
Enzo, you nailed it. It is absolutely the Chinese space station. That's exactly what it was. It's the core module from the Chinese space station. And this is a good example of why we use the satellite trackers in the field. Anytime that we see those things, the satellite trackers come out for that very reason. I learned that a very long time ago, and you get to see that throughout, when we're out there filming.
Very good.
That was awesome.
Very good. This is why we pay you the big bucks, man.
Nailed it. I would give you some points for that. You know what? A blessing, Joe. A blessing.
Yes, a blessing. If my mouse will work. Here we go. Blessing. Here it comes.
Blessing.
Here it comes. Dun dun dun. And this is appropriate.
So this is why the folks who hang out with us are different than a lot of the other UFO, groups, basically. Yeah, it's kind of bright. I mean, it's the first time I'd ever seen it and actually captured it. So I was impressed. I thought it was the ISS, but the brightness was just off a little bit. The ISS is a lot brighter. It's bigger. And yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Beth says we just heard a skyquake.
What?
Maybe thunder, or was it actual like long rippling rumble? Or
Well, that's wild. Anyway,
A blessing from the lizard people.
yes, blessings from the lizard
Jen
people.
says, Enzo, be smart.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's what we need.
Anita says, we're getting concussive window strikes here. Got to go secure one. Yeah, we had
Wow.
some really heavy winds that were hitting our house, like the position of our house. Like
Yeah.
some of that wind, when it comes in, it broadsides us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so we had to move some stuff just a little while ago.
You know, is anybody
Trackway
had
says, don't tell Enzo I said this, but Enzo would be a great guest. Okay. I'm down. Enzo, if you're down, we're down.
there you go.
What's your like obviously you look at the sky quite a bit, but like what's your specialty? What do you want to talk about? When to get us a hold of us and we will make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless it's lizard people. I don't talk about them. They don't like it. So there was a chance of this mud rain again today, Joe, is what I heard.
Yes.
By the
Yes, there
way.
was. And I have seen photographs from out around the Indiana, Ohio area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like mud snow too.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. I know we had a little bit of that there because of the big dust bowl like activity that's taking place out west, which is just absolutely crazy if you think about it. I think we skipped it this time though.
Enzo said, have your people contact my people. Trackway, get a hold of him.
There you go, Trackway. You're our people, so do your thing. All right, pull this back over here.
Oh, this was actually the next thing that I was going to bring up on the news.
Hmm?
Have you seen this, Ron?
What is it? This
The
pyramid scans.
the radar scans about the pyramids.
What? No. What?
Oh, dude, get ready to drop a load in your pants because this one is for real. This is ridiculous. There is a new LiDAR scan that has
Okay.
found intricate systems underneath the Great Pyramids of Giza. That there are these chambers that run estimated 600 plus meters deep with like columns around or a spiral staircase around them, that there's structure buried under the sand that resembles the King's Chamber in the Valley of the Kings,
Okay.
and it's buried in the sand. You cannot see it, and
Okay.
it's between the pyramids, and that basically these cylindrical objects underneath the pyramids extend down into a larger chamber and connect to a larger underground chamber.
Okay.
And if this is authentic, this could completely upend Egyptology and everything we've thought we've known about the pyramids.
This could make sense. Seems to me that there was some discovery made a while back of some chambers, but I don't know that they were near the. I don't know that they said that they were near the pyramids, but
Enzo brings up a good point, and it's the same reason I'm kind of skeptical about it as well. It is ground penetrating radar isn't that great that deep.
Unless it's not ground penetrating radar.
Yeah, it's true. It's LiDAR.
I mean, unless it's not that, unless that's just, this is good enough. Dumb people understand this to the press is what I'm saying. Like, I saw some pretty interesting stuff that they were using on what was it, Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. Now that stuff it went down pretty far, but they were using these massive radar systems that were made for that. It's very possible that they were using something like that, but I don't know. I haven't seen the story, so I'm not going to comment on what it was or what it wasn't until I see more data on it. I do know that there have been discoveries allegedly made over there by reputable scientists who don't want to talk about it. That's what I've heard anyway. So maybe
this is not ground penetrating radar. This is SAR. So, a groundbreaking study using advanced radar technology has revealed a vast, intricate underground structure beneath the pyramids of Giza. Scientists
Hmm.
Corrado Malenga from University of Pisa and Filippo Biondi from the University of Strathclyde. Yeah, I'm not even gonna.
Don't
Anyway,
even do it.
they
Just
use
people.
synthetic aperture radar. It is
Synthetic aperture
it's
radar.
a form of tomography that can scan the Khafre pyramid and found a subterranean system that extends approximately 2 kilometers beneath all three pyramids.
Wait, what?
The Khafre pyramid is the second largest structure in the Giza plateau. Their scans showed 5 identical structures near the base of Khafre, and these structures contained multiple levels and were connected by geometric pathways.
How deep did you just say?
2 kilometers is how deep the synthetic aperture radar can
Oh,
scan.
that's how deep it can penetrate.
Well,
Oh boy.
that's how deep they found these things. It says that they used
Wait.
the SAR tomography to scan the
All right.
Khafre pyramid and found a subterranean system that extends approximately 2 kilometers beneath all three pyramids.
Well, this is very
So,
reminiscent
it,
of Darren Kuyu,
yeah, right.
the underground cities, the legends
Uh-huh.
that always told you, the ant people, the survivors, the ones who went underground. Because not everybody was told to go underground. Some were told to build boats and
So
rafts and so forth.
beneath these pathways lay 8 vertical
Wow.
cylindrical wells, which were encircled by descending spiral pathways that stretched up and down 648 meters, ultimately merging into 2 massive cube-shaped structures, each measuring 80 meters per side.
Cubes.
So this thing is going 200 or 648 meters deep, right?
Yeah.
And it is 2 kilometers in total expanse, like from left to right. Think of it that way. Laterally, it's 2 kilometers. Um, in depth, it is 648 meters.
Well,
Uh,
now that's a pretty big vault.
right. The idea is similar to theories from well-known figures Nikola Tesla and Christopher Dunn. Tesla was famous inventor, blah 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 blah. And in his book, the Giza power plant was said to be a giant machine. He thought that it could turn
Mm,
vibrations into energy that people could use.
yeah.
So they were just referencing Tesla there, but yeah, it is a pretty SAR is a pretty advanced radar system. It's not your traditional ground penetrating radar.
I would definitely still have to have more, a little bit more data on that. Just for the simple fact that it sounds like something that we want it to be. Um, but I'd like to see the radar returns. Did they have those published
Oh
by
yeah,
any chance?
they have those.
They do have the radar
Yeah,
returns.
let me grab those because then they've also done some 3D renderings.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you throw those up? Just use the screenshot and then do the present, and then there's image right there when you click on present, and it should pop it right up there. Um, I don't know. I've heard these pyramidal claims like literally forever. It would
oh
be
yeah,
nice if somebody actually had some real data here, because if that's the case, it's a game changer, and that will definitely shake up some stuff.
okay. Let's see here.
You know, especially if it's some kind of cube structure and not necessarily a room. That'd be interesting.
And then the actual scans themselves are. I see where they got these 3D renderings from.
Uh huh.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have these up. I'm going to go and let's see where'd it go. No, I don't want a 7-day trial.
Oh wow.
um, yeah, this is a synthetic aperture Doppler.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just trying to get you guys the best quality pictures to put up because there's a few on here that are kind of sketchy. Um, and they've got all their math in here too. I mean, this I'm going to send you guys a link to their actual study, and you guys
Yeah.
can go and
Pop that up there. That way
debate
everybody can
that,
look at it and make
rip it
their own mind
apart.
up. Yeah.
Holy cow! I'm saving a bunch of pictures here, guys.
Enzo says the Gaza Plateau is a solid limestone. They would have needed to bore all that out, then build supports to bear the weight of the pyramids themselves. Well,
Unless they're really freaking old.
well, that and unless it's something that you don't have to bore with. And I'm not playing, oh, conspiracy theory. I'm playing what if, and it's okay to do what ifs at this point because we're at that point. If some of this technology really does exist that we're starting to hear, that's like everyday stuff, right, Joe?
Yep.
What to share with you today? I was telling you about what was it? It was the time crystals, because
Yeah,
everybody
time
has
crystals.
one.
That's a thing now.
Pay attention to what's happening, folks. What's happening is you are just going to be told that, oh yeah, we had that, and it's going to seem like every day. It's a gaslighting, basically, that we have this advanced technology that we don't have. Um, is it theoretically possible that you could, I don't know,
So there,
holy crap.
there's
That's what
their
they,
3D workup of the
no,
full structure.
there is no way that if that exists, then we are, yeah, yeah. If that actually is a thing, then someone's got some
But
explaining to do.
right, right. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a very bold presentation. Okay,
That's an extremely bold presentation because what I see is a massive structural, there's actually a pyramid shape. What? The
these are the
nature.
pillars that they recorded underneath the ground.
This reminds me of Venice. Why does this remind me of Venice? The city of
You
Venice.
can
That,
you can see the where they got their pillars at.
oh, I see the pillars.
Then going to hold on, guys. Throwing up a new one, so leave that up there. And layers. This one is the hand drawing.
Well, that's the king's chamber, right?
Well, this is
And
you're
the
getting ready
queen's
to see something
chamber.
else. I'm going to show you
Okay.
two things coming up here.
Okay.
Um, and
Now we've known about this part right here. This was the last thing that was, what in the world am I seeing?
exactly.
It from against our result. Oh my.
When you look at these, they are very leading that
Geometrical.
there is a structure there. Like I know how to read ground penetrating radar, and these are similar. It is you're still looking at radar scans and sweep scans that are coming in through a Doppler effect here, but you can see where they're coming up with these ideas. And
Yeah.
here now the next one, I'm going to take you back here. Take you back
Yeah.
here. I'm getting ready to show you another one. Okay, I'm going to show you the one they saved out of order for some reason. So I'm going to show you this one here.
Well, all we knew about first was where it says number 3 right there, right above the A.
Yeah,
You see that with the parenthesis? That is the really the gist of the what we knew of the complex up until this point. So No way. Wow.
So toggle back and forth here.
Oh,
These
I already
chambers,
see it. Yeah, I see it.
they're there.
They're different.
Well, I mean, you got to think it's underground. What happened to settling and collapse?
Yeah.
And again, these were drawings, theoretical drawings.
And how big is this structure?
This structure, I have to go back to the first image to get an idea, but the total depth was 680 some meters.
This is a very big structure, is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah, and the columns were just below this. So this scan technically was on top of this scan right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it's in the middle. You can see where the chamber, the one big chamber was, but then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 plus chambers that are visible here.
So they think those are individual chambers, or are those
They're the
poles?
columns. That's those columns that go underneath it.
So the columns are chambers.
Yeah, they're hollowed out, otherwise
They're
they wouldn't
hollow.
show up.
Huh.
According to the study and how this stuff works, it echoes. So this is an echo. We're seeing a reflection of the void, so to speak.
What's interesting to me is they actually allowed them to do this.
Yeah, which means that somebody already had an idea.
Yeah, that means somebody already had an idea, and there'll be a lot more of this coming out, because if that's the case, then that's going to validate some stuff that's been talked about behind closed doors.
Oh, 100%.
And
wow, we've missed a ton of comments here.
That's something. So that bothers me. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I told you it's gonna leave you with a lot of questions, man.
Yeah, that bothers me.
If it's real, if this is all real, if this is authentic, holy crap.
Well, we've definitely got a bit to look into on this.
Where can one find the Giza LiDAR scans? Here's a link to their actual paper. I'm throwing it into the comments below right now. Just copy pasta that bad boy into your browser, and it'll take you to their actual research paper.
All right, let's scan back and see what some folks were saying, and throw up some stuff here.
Column paths or corridors around aqueducting. That's what I'm reading. It's what it seems like. They think that those columns were a way to move some kind of something in between, and those tubular structures that go around them were the walkways or stairways down them.
Unreal. I mean, we don't know what they are.
Yes,
but some researchers say yes. Yeah, I know, right? Now, what would have been great? Wouldn't have been hilarious if they'd have found remains of copper down there?
Well, you'd have to go there physically to do that.
Well, yeah, molecular scans,
Yeah, but will the molecular scans go that deep?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
684 meters.
They've got something, I'm sure.
So Enzo says, I'm sure Giorgio is prepping his hair for an upcoming TV spot over this one.
Maybe.
Oh, you better believe it's probably going to hit Ancient Aliens.
If it does, then it's going to be a big one, because this has been talked about. And anyone who's been to some of those presentations knows that this has been talked about, and it's been hinted that some very high up people know that there's been a discovery. And
Linda said there's a whole place underwater. Well, you know how long this would have taken, Ron? This would have taken years to conduct this study. When you look at all the math and all of the research that they put into this to do this stuff,
it checks out. It checks out. That's what I'm saying. It checks out.
So Linda says the whole place was underwater at one point, allegedly. Anita says there's a theory that was flooded originally, and it makes sense to drive pillions into the ground and swamp sand. Pylons, into the ground to keep it sturdy, kind of like how we'd use rebar to hold up retaining walls.
I'm telling you, when I looked at that looks what he said. That looks like Venice. That looks like a diagram of Venice. That's what that looks like to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Or a bunch of silos. Hey, you never
And
know,
listen, do I
man.
need to be on acid to read that? No, DMT probably wouldn't hurt.
No, man, I don't think that's going to help you on this one.
Looks like a modern foundation shoring project. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does. It looks like an
yeah,
offshore drilling project, really.
yeah. Which maybe it was. Who knows? We don't know. I mean, there was water there at one point. Who knows? That's the problem. You see, we've convinced ourselves that we're only X amount of years old.
Yeah. Don Sager says the pyramid accelerator theory under the pyramids has been around for a few years. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's been around for a long time,
Long
Don.
time.
Yeah, long time. And you know what? Unlike some of those crazy conspiracy theories, this one actually makes sense. If you really look at some of the data and then you start looking at the stuff like this, if they're finding it, man, it can go either way. So they just gave them a lot of props there.
Jason says the results from the Khufu scan project, so we know that it goes back many, many years, and then they put muon detection system in.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, they've been studying this for a very long time, as we just said.
Yeah, the paper originally started, according to the website link that I gave you guys, it started, I think, in 2018. The scans were done in 2022, and then it was released back then too, about what it seemed like, or at least the paper was put out for peer review. But these new articles are running with it yesterday.
You know what was interesting about the date?
Showing up all over the place, and like major news networks. I saw it from who was it? There was all the big names ran it, and then a bunch of your social media talking heads jumped in it too.
I hadn't seen anything. I've been editing videos, but here's the thing. This is big if it's actual, of course. And the dating, again, falls right within the line. It was 2018. This is when, if you remember at the time, if you remember at the time, the Younger Dryas theory had just started to really take off before it got smacked down and said that it was pseudoscience just a few years later, because no one wants to believe that.
Okay, Jason says the paper was
2022.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and all that's in that link that I threw up there for you guys too. So if anybody who this is new to, I vaguely remember hearing about it a few years back, but like never saw anything.
Nope.
But like it was pretty interesting now, knowing somewhat how to read GPR and looking how to read some Doppler radars now that we're doing some other stuff.
That's remarkable.
Seeing those scans is really impressive.
Yeah, that is pretty remarkable.
There's something there. Whether it is the elaborate structure that they're talking about,
yeah,
or if it's just voids that happen to be perfectly located underneath the pyramids.
No,
there.
No, there's something there. It's just, the amazing thing being that you've got to move a lot of earth, or you were there before the earth came in.
Yeah.
And buried the whole thing.
Some kind of a cataclysm.
Yeah. And buried the whole thing. And then maybe the next culture decided to build another thing on top of that thing. Yeah. I mean,
or just walked up and found them, because there are some Egyptologists that will tell you that the people who came in said, yeah, we found these.
Well, yeah, those people. I'm talking about the people before those people. That's how far back it could go.
That's what I'm getting at. The cataclysm could have wiped them out, and they might not have built anything on top. They could have just been there, like the tops of buildings
sticking out of the ground.
Repurposed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, you never know. That's the whole thing. And
Fox and Brambles, what's going on?
Fox, welcome, Fox.
No talk. Good to see you hanging out there.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. What an interesting discussion this has become out of the blue.
The Emerald Tablets of Thoth.
Oh, someone's talking about the Emerald Tablets. This could get interesting. Octo. Yeah. Everybody's got a copy, right? No, I'm kidding. I mean, they do now.
Right.
you know, but yeah, that's interesting. What else we got over there?
Linda says I'd be interested in seeing the Chichen Itza.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just doing the upper parts of that through the
right.
canopy, and they've already discovered so many
Was
cities.
it
It's not
300 and some miles worth of city
dude.
that they found?
Yes, yes, which is absolutely insane. It's there, you just can't see it, or there are remnants where it used to
Sound
be. That's
familiar?
the it's the beauty of lidar. I mean, it's
The
just
beauty of technology, being able to see things that are
that
there that you can't normally
that
see.
you can't normally see. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And now, if you it did this there, and you could actually see under, could you imagine if we could actually see under the ground? Then we could see everything that the government can see.
Yeah, like King Kong and Godzilla
Right,
and all
Godzilla.
of Middle Earth.
Right. I mean, because it's real, right?
But no, for real, you would be able to see a whole lot. The things you'd see, the tunneling systems, the survival mechanisms that people used to get through these catastrophes eons ago. It'd be really, really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. I think that the fact that you're looking at the possibility. Oh, there you go. Stuff like this frightens me about how dumb we are about our ancient past. Thank you, Enzo. It's 100% accurate. That's what I was getting ready to go into a big tirade about that. Now I don't have to because you're true. You're absolutely truthful.
The man, the moth, the legend. Ancient civilizations would constantly build new structures over pre-existing ruins. Geologists and archaeologists have dug Rome up in layers. Oh yeah, and every time it burnt down, they just build right back on top. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's
we have.
absolutely true.
Our civilization has done that and
Yeah.
has been on the mow.
Yeah, that's absolute truth. They even tried that at Point Pleasant with Fort Randall, and then they finally gave up.
Yeah, who was it? I can't.
It kept
Some
getting
historical
burned down.
society rebuilt
It,
it down the river somewhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Modern
yeah.
times.
Yeah, they thought they'd rebuild it right after it was destroyed, and the Shawnee were like, "Nah, you're not gonna do that." So
Burn it
they
down.
burned it down, and they burned it down a few times, and finally they got the message, and were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna
So,
waste our time."
so back to Enzo there, Ron. Go ahead.
Yeah, we think that just because there are no remains, this stuff, this is what kills me.
Yeah.
Then it couldn't be. But there are remains. There are stone remains, and people are like, "Well, stone. If they're highly advanced technologies, then why would they have stone, right?" Because stone remains. It's just that simple.
And stone was
Stone.
widely available on this planet.
It's a
Let's face it.
resource. How many of you guys have ever played a game, a resource type game? Okay, let's go into video game land because you're out there. I know this.
Civilization. Fallout.
Civilization. Civilization, particularly what you just said, Sid Meier's
Yeah.
Civilization. Resources. That's what it's all about. You're going to use the most prevalent resource, even if you do have a technology that can possibly, create this stuff. And I'll give you another hypothetical. What if? If we look back at the legends that say that, we didn't come from here, we came from somewhere else, et cetera, that whole thing. And if we don't even go to those legends and we just say, like, we'll take the CIA Mars briefing, right, with Joe Montgomery. There's a good one where he says, that these beings that he saw a million years ago on Mars through remote viewing, as crazy as that may seem, it's not crazy. Go look it up yourself. Anyway, they were surviving something. They were surviving a cataclysm on Mars. They were in a hibernation state. They were waiting for someone to come back. They were waiting for them to come back because a group had went out and they had found another place to go. And they were going to go there. It was Exodus, okay? They were leaving that planet and going to another planet.
And that other planet was hostile.
The planet he described sounds a whole lot like the one next door. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
If that's the case, this was 1,000,000 years ago. 1,000,000 years ago.
Yeah.
There would be nothing left except for stone. And even the stone could be deteriorated at that point.
Well, we look at some of this stuff too, and we're like, well, it couldn't have been artificial,
Right.
uh, artificial structures, artificial building because,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to put this into a modern day rational train of thought for you guys. 3D printers.
Yeah.
If they could just, some of these objects, people say, well, what if they could do this? Why didn't they? Anybody who's ever used a 3D printer, what's the number one thing it does?
Oh, aggravates the crap out of you because it doesn't
And,
level right.
and takes forever. Like it'll do it, and it'll do it really well, but it'll take forever. I can sculpt something faster and bake it in the oven faster generally than what most really intricate, really detailed 3D finished prints would take to pop off, finalize, coat, prime, paint, and put on a table.
Yeah.
If I can take clay, which is a form of rock, realistically, it's a type of it's not a form of rock, but it's dirt, water, clay,
Yeah.
right? If I can take clay and bake it and harden it and turn it into a hardened object, stone would just be that much easier to work with than it would be to try to, magically produce these things with a high technology machine.
Well, I mean, we're also thinking about the nexus of the creation process. I mean, that's the thing, because in a lot of these thoughts, people are like, well, they started chiseling stone, if they were survivors. No, they didn't have to chisel stone. They could have had their technology. Their technology could have existed, but without a means to make that technology anymore, possibly war, rebellion, who knows what, the technology gets lost. You've got nothing left but stone, and you only have your basics, that you're going to pass down so many generations, and generations are going to start forgetting stuff. That's just going to happen, if not be wiped out completely, and then it
Speaking
may just
of
survive.
generations forgetting stuff, look at this next comment.
Go ahead.
Jason says, crazy how slow they roll out information to the general public. Didn't want the pyramidians running with it. Egyptian Department of Antiquities controls the release of information and have to have permission to publish.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true,
and
man.
they control everything with an iron fist.
So
Anybody
why?
in out has to go through them.
So why? There's your question, and that's what you should really be asking yourself. Why? Why does it matter? Found another Walmart. That's funny.
Right.
But
here's another one.
Yeah.
I hired a Mayan guide when in Carsicle. Just discovered to take me to the ruins before it was excavated for tourists. We climbed up the pyramids and into the tombs, and he told me that they found liquid mercury
I've
in a
heard this.
box in a tomb, sealed. No modern people knew how to create liquid mercury.
There is a story that they not only found that, but that there was a literal lake of it under one of these. What? Oh, jeez.
Lizard person Ron Lanham says we should scan for tacos.
We should scan for tacos. I second that.
The Antikythera mechanism.
Oh, yeah. Antikythera. Yep. Antikythera, found by sponge divers off the coast of Greece, turned out to be a basic computer that shouldn't exist, yet there it was. And it was, again, this is what we would build if we were thrown back in time with the knowledge we have, and not the tools to make it. That's the thing. That's the part that people don't get. And then if we just hypothetically play this game of what if, we can see that there could be tracers, there could be markers that point to those civilizations. After a million years, nothing's left. Even glass is pretty much broken down into the finest bits of grain, right?
Yeah.
And sand. Go to the beach. How many civilizations are you walking on?
100%.
When you pick that sand up and you let it run through your hand, or when you walk on it and it's squishing up between your toes and you think, oh, this is so pretty, it's tropical. You could be walking literally on the remains of an ancient civilization
Yeah.
And you probably are. That's the
This just
funny
ground
part.
to sand over time.
Just ground to
Above
sand
the
over
beating of
time.
the ocean.
Yes.
Donna says, when my son was a little boy playing Super Mario one day, he turned to me and said, aliens gave some humans the knowledge to design Nintendo.
They did. He was right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I thank God every day for our alien overlords who gave us the technology so I can, play video games and amuse myself into stupidity at times. Our
Yep.
technology
Clay
has been
baking the ever in
weaponized,
its pottery. Then
you know?
gotta love bacon. Then we went into a bacon train.
Bacon, bacon, bacon. But yes, I mean, this is a fascinating thing because, again, I think it's probably one of next to the UAP topic, and it is one of my favorite. It has become that. So yeah. What?
I
I made a
made a sculpture
sculpture.
of bacon or out of bacon of Adam Good years before we met him. I'm not sure why.
Oh my gosh, it has to mean something. Anyway.
Oh Lord.
Oh wow.
My son was right. Did otherworldly beings introduce video games to us to prepare us, to prepare our minds for what's happening now?
Well, I mean,
I have a feeling that they go by our planet and they look at our what's coming across the internet and they're like, all of these games. They're playing these games for fun. They're so violent. There's explosions everywhere. They're killing people that look like us. They're
right.
they're blowing us apart. You should not visit. Turn away.
Oh
Don't
gosh.
go there. They're doing this for fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could see that, right? This is obviously a warring planet. Stay away. This is their training programs. They train the young ones before they send them to the field of battle. Like, yeah, you're right. From an outside.
Stress relief.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's the stress relief. They actually go to battle.
Oh man.
That's the thing. I mean, because we do judge everything by only what we know, which is what we can do.
If they had the technology to realize what the Antikythera mechanism was when it was logged into the museum, it would have been lost.
Oh, 100%. Only thing that saved it was it wasn't understood at the time. And no one really thought that was possible. I think that's one of the things that saved it. And then when it was found, it was, out that what this was, it was too late. They couldn't hide this at this point.
Tony says, I'll ask again, was the Fortress of Solitude in Superman 1978 a soft disclosure for time crystals? Could have been.
I don't know, but apparently time crystals are a thing, y'all.
That and doesn't the TARDIS have time crystal in it?
I think it has time crystals. Yeah, I believe that was mentioned. But time crystals, guys, that's a thing, just to let y'all know.
Trackway says, can we elaborate more on liquid mercury? The chambers there at
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find that article for you. I remember only that allegedly it was a representation of some sacred or holy space, and that there was a river of liquid mercury that was in this like pool, and then in the center there was like an island type thing with some monument or something to that point.
Yeah, and the passing through the liquid mercury was essentially into the underworld.
Yeah, it was like some model basically of that's what it was. It was a model of the underworld. So I'll try to find that for you and see if I can dig it up. A lot of this info is very interesting to me. A lot of this info has literally started to disappear. Just to let you guys know. So when you do see stuff like that, for the love of God, get some of these older books, keep them. Okay. Preserve those books and make sure that some of this stuff doesn't just go the way of the dinosaurs, because I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff is just disappearing. What was that we had there, Joe? I didn't see that one.
Göbekli Tepe dates back to 12,000 years, and it's unexplainable.
Yeah.
Star Trek has time crystals as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Time crystals. It's a thing.
Kind of like the tomb in China, where they don't want the techniques or used to preserve the body. The fluid was used to supposedly unknown as well.
Yep. Yeah. That's another place that has some very interesting structures that they won't allow anyone to touch, especially, they think that one of the largest pyramids in the world is in China, actually.
Donna said using Earth as a quick pit stop. Hurry, get your crap done and leave.
Right. Yeah.
Dances says, wasn't there a movie with that same theme using video games to train space fighters?
That was The
Yeah,
Last Starfighter.
The Last Starfighter. And then they did
Yes.
a modern day kind of take on it as well called Pixels.
That's right. Pixels was kind of like The Last
Yep.
Starfighter, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not time crystals. The TARDIS is powered by Artron energy, a substance found in a time vortex. That's what it is. Oz says, I was told by the Mayan guide it was found in a sealed tomb that was sealed in a time when humans didn't know how to create it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
How about that?
Thanks for sharing tonight, Ron and Joe. So cool. Really appreciate you guys and the chatters sharing experience. Love it. Yeah, this has been a fun one. Like we don't have a dead set topic. We're just kind of riding the waves and seeing where it goes. And this one was good. I'm glad that they brought up the pyramids when they did, because I was going to hit it a little bit later in the show, but it's kind of taken over the bulk here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mercury was meant to represent water in the emperor's burial diorama.
Yeah.
Diorama.
Yeah. I got what you did there, Jason. That was good. It was clever. But no, that's pretty interesting, actually. That we may have actual data to support some of these theories that have been kicked around for years by the pseudoscientists.
Yep.
And the conspiracy theorists. Man, reality just ain't what you thought it was. I think that's going to be the big kick in the pants for the rest of this year, is what I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's connection between all of this, I'm sure, with the Mayan culture, the Chinese culture, the stuff we're finding over in Egypt. Some of these things probably go back into around the same time period, or at least the same technology methods.
I got a question. Do you think that this is another form of, I won't say disclosure, but I will say assimilation to disclosure?
Oh, yeah. It's like hey, look at this. Look over here. Look at this.
No, the timing. So this is, if you look at how the whole thing happened with UAPs, remember, at first it was just lights in the sky. Then it was radar tracks. We admitted those were real. And then while they were doing this, someone mentioned something about, there's some fantastic stuff that it almost borders science fiction. We can't even talk about that right now. We'll address that in the future if we get around to it.
Tic Tac comes out.
And well, this was after that. So the fantastic stuff would have probably been the psionic stuff that we just got released.
Well, yeah, it could be that.
That's the fantastic weird stuff, or the time dilation stuff. We still haven't gotten back to that. They hinted at that, and we haven't talked about that since.
Well, the time dilation, the portals, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. The warp. What is it? Warp bubbles.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Remember the one guy says, the TARDIS effect, where the thing was bigger on the inside than the out, and there was a time distortion while he was in the presence of it. That was touched on, made headlines all around the world, disappeared.
And then was gone. It was like, here it is, then pull it away.
Right. So then
we're releasing it.
That's what I'm getting at. So it doesn't seem so amazing. I really think that just one day, we're going to wake up and they're going to be like, oh, UFOs. Oh yeah, we had those. Okay. So what's in the news today? Not that, because, you already know that. We told you this a long time ago. You must have forgot, because that's literally it. Time crystals. Like that's a thing. It's not a thing.
Bring up the time crystals now, because now's a good spot to bring in time crystals and go over that.
Okay. So the whole move has been, we were moving into this quantum computing thing again. It's brand new technology, and they're acting like this is something we've had.
The crystal CD, the crystal disc that they were using to format like billions of terabytes onto. Remember that? We covered it on Baltimore Radio a while back, where they were recording data onto that, and then you move into now time crystals.
Now you're moving into time crystals, and basically it's a form of it's a crystal that is created through some magical process. And literally, it sounds like magic when you listen to some of these, these scientists try to describe this when the Stargate TV series did the puppet episode.
Stargate was Stargate and the X-Files were documentaries at this point, man.
Warp Hole Extreme. Yeah. Or Wormhole Extreme. That's it. Wormhole Extreme. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, this is the thing. And we're going to be like, oh, okay, that was always a thing. I mean, we don't know any better. But us on the outside, this is our own Mandela effect that we're creating here. We're going to be the ones who are like, no, you didn't have that. And everybody else is going to be like, yeah, but Grok told me we did. I rest my case. That's where it's going.
Which
That
is why
where
we
it's
did what
going.
we did in the last episode by going to the gravesite to set the record straight for AI.
I don't think people understood that. I really don't think people understood our motivation for that. The motivation.
A bunch of people knew the site. We get it.
Yeah. And I told you, I said, look, when you go to Google and it's boom right there, it says Coon Cemetery. I only found the actual cemetery 2 times out of a massive amount of Google searching. And I had to narrow it down just to do that. Every return said that. And it says at the top, what I showed you in the video, AI generated. It goes right to AI. It's not sourcing it. It's going straight to the AI itself is picking this, and it's going from the most popular clicks and whatever you guys are looking at. It's important that we put the right information in there. Our technology is literally going to make us dumber.
It's imperative that we record time properly on the time crystals.
It's absolutely imperative that we record time properly on the time crystals. It's getting out of hand, but yeah, it's just nuts. What's happening is nuts.
Way of the Sploot says, yes, when the whistleblower happened with Congress, most people weren't phased at all. Desensitizing the public for years set the stage. Yeah,
absolutely. We even had our episode. What was it? Assimilation, right?
It was a couple episodes. It was 2 episodes that ran back to back, and it coursed the entire history of assimilation through media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good one. That was a really good one. And
it really was.
You watch that, it's like, oh my. I don't know if you can watch it. I think you can listen to it. I don't remember if
it is listen only.
It was listen only, wasn't it? Yeah, go listen to that one. That's good. It's going to make a lot of sense if you haven't listened to that or heard that one.
Oz says reality is not what we think it is. No. That is the basis of my ontological shock that started in 2015. I'm over it, if not bored. We're in a simulation. Enjoy the ride. Play.
I mean, I can't tell you we're not. That's the thing. And I think that if anybody can stand and show you proof of that, that's different. But at this point, the data says that, yeah, this could be a great big gigantic video game. Do I believe that? No, but I can't say that it can't be. The data is there. It's on the table. And just like anything else, we have to leave it there until we have more.
They just recently discovered how Roman roads were made. Yeah, the solution for their concrete. Mm-hmm. And why they were still so durable. And it's hard to tell how much lost knowledge there was. You're right. Yeah. Jordan Booker says, I always appreciate how you don't jump into a new release of information. It is critical to see what else develops, but it is fun to speculate. Oh yeah. Speculation is always fun. We make sure to preface, and this is speculation, kids.
Yeah. We don't normally get to speculate, and it's fun to actually sit down and do what some of these other podcasters do. And, and actually talk about this stuff and look at the possibilities, but we're not going to speculate to the point of saying, well, this is going to happen on this date. No, that's not how that works. Is something going to happen? Probably at some point. Something always happens.
Yeah.
Is that not true? I mean, history has shown us time and time again, something always happens that smacks us around and makes things change.
Yeah.
Now, what it is, I can't tell you.
Tony said during the last decade of his life, Richard Shraver devoted himself to rock books, stones that believed had been created by advanced ancient races and were embedded with pictures and text.
Wow.
So these the way these time crystals work, Ron, give us a
I don't
brief
know.
little.
I don't have a time crystal.
Come
If I
on,
had
Ron. We know
one,
that you have a time crystal in the basement.
I don't. I promise you, I don't. I have every other kind of crystal around here, but I don't have a time crystal yet. But I will soon. Don't worry. Um,
Right.
yeah. These,
I'm just trying to figure out, I understand how they wrote data onto it. That makes sense.
yeah, but
But
the creation of it didn't make sense to me.
right.
And then to talk about it in such a way as literally how the article wrote it was talking about it in such a way that it was like,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
oh, you
just
just pull out the dipstick and check your oil, and if it's low, pour the oil in.
yeah, time crystals.
Time crystals.
It
Now you
really was.
know.
The article was very matter of fact and frank and just like, yeah, and then time crystals.
It was probably written by AI. Let's be real.
Oh, probably. You're not
I
wrong.
mean, no, for real. It probably was just like everything else that's been written and created. It's all AI. It's just how it is. And that's the world we live in, a world where we are creating our successors.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they do a better job.
Ron's basement time crystal is expired.
It possibly has.
It needs refreshed. It needs a new dip in the time vortex.
Time crystals. It's like, what? Like, you people are dark comets. There's the other one, right? Oumuamua being the dark comet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There's another. That one was Monday, wasn't it?
Say
Monday
it
or
with
Tuesday?
me, because kids, this is a flashback for you
It
who
is.
maybe
Here we
only
go.
one of you will ever
Here we go.
remember.
Amu.
There you go. That's how we did it. Anyone who actually watched the very first episode of what will become,
Barnes.
yeah, anyone who actually watched the episode that eventually spawned this creation, that was a flashback. But yeah, Oumuamua, the little comet fragment, asteroid, spaceship, anomalous object, call it what you want, that zipped through our planetary system, came close to Earth, did exactly what Joe said, went past Earth, got to about Jupiter, and said, "I am out of here."
Yeah, and
And
then went mock Jesus out of our solar system.
literally, I'm pretty sure it did. Um, Now science has a new explanation for it, because Avi Loeb says that it's probably a techno signature. It's probably a remnants of a ship, or something like that, right? That's
How
still
do
working.
remnants of a ship just decide, hey,
Ah,
you know what? Warp drive.
what you said. What you said. That's what I said.
Like
And
my car or my truck doesn't just decide to go down the interstate at 70 miles an hour. I have to make it. It decides to go 80 if I let it, but I have to dial it back because it's
yeah,
comfortable at 80. My truck at no point ever in its history decides, you know what? Let's crank it up to 14 billion light years and
yeah.
jolt out of a solar system.
Well, his theory is that it's a solar cell, okay? And so I guess when it came around, that part would be facing away. But why did it take all the way out? Yes. Why did it take all the way out to Jupiter before this thing unfurls itself, or the right amount of solar, wind hits this thing and zips it off? That didn't make sense. But it's okay, because science now says that it's something called a dark comet. Believe it or not, they made up this thing called a dark comet. I kid you not. They made up a explanation to explain it away. And in so doing, they literally prove that it may not be a dark comet, but that it may actually be a technosignature, or a remnant of a technosignature, or a ship. Let's just call it for what it is. It could be a ship.
Tony says, but does your truck have AI? No, it doesn't. And that's why it'll run after the
Yeah.
EMP, not the EXP.
Right. It's
But yeah, we got Jason Ratliff, who was talking about how he was building rockets back there. He's got some kids in the military. That's awesome. I know how that goes. I'm right there with you, man. I don't have kids in the military. I was in the Air Force. I don't know how long you've been listening to us or not, but used to build airplanes.
what's better than crashing them?
It is. I mean, I had to do that stuff too. I didn't crash them. I was on a crash retrieval team for aircraft, not UAP.
Loser.
I know, right? I'm not one of the cool kids.
Nope, you can't play with us anymore. So if anyone out there has crash retrieval expertise in UAPs, please submit your application to Wild and
Right.
Weird Radio. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But no, guys,
I did handle some questionable things.
you
You can
still
say
do.
that.
You still do.
Well, yeah,
Still do.
that's
Still
not
do.
wrong.
You know what?
Or am I being handled by questionable things? Which is it?
I don't know. I mean, I do have a clip here that these guys earned last week for their donations
Oh,
to
that's right. That's right.
keep
Your
the
unlocks.
party rolling. Yeah. So I'm gonna pop up the little clip that you guys got. And yes, we can discuss this one, unlike the last one. Not
Says talking about Oumuamua. They came, they saw the Mean Girls, and they booked it.
I don't know. All I know is that that thing, like I told you when it happened,
Yeah.
it came around. It got close enough to do what it needed to do. It proved something and it left. And after that happened, it was UAP City on Earth. Everybody started seeing them. A few years later, we started shooting them down, apparently. And I guess now we come out and say, oh, we were trying to lure them in with psionics and we were trying to hijack the ships. That's not good, guys.
So Jason says he found us about a month or so ago on a Thursday night. That is awesome. Make sure to tune in every Thursday and watch the Small Town Monster stuff whenever you need something to watch. That's awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
Thanks
Man.
for joining us and hanging out with us, man.
Appreciate
It is awesome. It is good times.
Absolutely. And here's why you made the right decision. I'm going to show the clip now. Ready, guys? You guys ready?
Let's roll that
Are
beautiful.
they ready? Do they want to see it? Because I'm not gonna do it.
Sorry about the all caps. It's a habit. Didn't mean to. No, I'm the same way. I know how it goes. I'm a government employee currently still, so like everything I write at work is all caps too. My caps button just stays locked. So you're good.
Yeah, we don't care. Makes it sound like you're really excited.
It does.
That's awesome. Everybody needs to do that. Okay, just start responding in all caps. It's okay.
I even write mostly in caps too.
It's okay over here. We don't have any etiquette or whatever it's called.
None.
What? Do they want to see it or not? I haven't seen
Oh
anything.
yeah, they want to see
Bring
it.
it.
They say, bring it on, hit it.
Okay.
Roll that beautiful clip.
Well, it's not beautiful. Joe's in it, but I'm gonna play it anyway. All right. So if it gives you nightmares, so be it. Here we go, guys. This is an exclusive first look at an upcoming episode that will be dropping next. What is it? 2 weeks from now, right? 2 or 3 weeks.
3 weeks from now.
3 weeks from now. Something like that. I'll get you the date after we come back. Anyway, watch it.
Second week of next month.
I don't know. Just watch it. Here it goes. Walk back. We should normally see about 0.4 milligauss, and we should easily be able to pinpoint its origin. However, Joe was standing in an area that was clearly above normal background readings. Everybody back up. There was nothing in this area that we could find to account for this EM field.
Like I'm in it. Right here. Right here.
Yeah, you are. There it is. Yep. There it is. He's in it again. You heard it right.
Yep.
That would be Monday. Let's see. That would be Monday the 7th for the squad members and 9th worldwide. That's when you're going to be able to see that one and all the goodies that entail with this one. And there's some goodies. Some of what you've seen and some it's out there.
Octopus says, I'm telling you, the Mercury powers the pyramid Tesla coils, and they're meant to protect us from solar flares, CMEs, and polar shift problems.
I mean, who knows?
Good as theory as any. That one makes more sense than some of the other ones I've heard. Way more sense.
Right.
Oumuamua was just out cruising and then realized the street lights were coming on.
That's funny.
At home among mountaineers, talking high strangeness, my people. Absolutely. And you were you're up in the Eastern Pan, is that right? because we'll be making a trip back out to the Eastern Pan here late spring, early summer, probably, to do some research. If we get out that way, we'll have to get a hold of each other.
Yep. And that's a good point. Oh, you just got it. Sorry, there it is.
Possibly meant to lock our planetary electromagnetic field to the sun's own fields to protect us. They're found all across the globe for a reason. It could, yeah, you have a very valid point. They are all over the globe. Every major continent has these pyramidal structures.
They do. I mean, no one knows. I mean, they could be the remnants of an early Earth defense system of some sort, especially if they went through something like this before. Think about that.
Linda says, "Glow boy." That's what's one of these days. I'm going to crack my fingers and it's just going to start glowing. That's what's going to happen.
Probably, yeah.
And Tony says, "Glowing Joe." Jen says, "Keep at it, Joe. You'll be glowing in no time."
We're working on him. We're working on him. Well, the good news is that was not ionizing radiation, so he's okay. That was just EMF. That was non-ionizing radiation. For you guys who don't know the difference, and a lot of people don't, so
they don't
feel
know
bad.
what meters sometimes that we're holding,
No,
which is why
no.
coming to the workshops is valuable, or why we're going to be posting a video here soon talking about some equipment too that you'll be able to see.
And that was the tri-field. Then the tri-field picks up, electromagnetic radiation. So that's non-ionizing.
Yes.
And he was actually picking up milligauss at that point.
Essentially an electric signature.
A pretty high one at that. 0.4 is what we expect to be normal baseline just about anywhere. Like if you turn the lights off in a house, it's probably still going to be about 0.4. If you're walking around outside, if you're close to a power source of some sort, if there's a meter around you anywhere, probably 0.4, 0.2, 0.4. If you're out in the middle of a field, it's about 0, but it can go up to like 0.1.
Yeah.
But it wasn't doing that. It was going up into positive numbers. It was going into positive numbers, 11, 12, 17.
3 at one point, it hit 16.
Yeah, it was up there.
Like, so there was a lot of energy in the air.
But it was only in one area. There's the weird part.
Isolated. It was, what was it? It was like a 4-foot wide circle.
It was a circle. It was like
almost
a little
big enough for a tractor beam.
Yeah. It was small. It was
got
small.
Beamed up. That's what happened. I about got beamed up right there.
You might have. I don't know.
It should have stood there a little bit longer. Waited until my toes started tingling.
Yeah. They locked onto you and they decided not to. I don't know why.
This place is the greatest for brainstorming, high strangeness ideas. Again, I love it. Hey, we love having you here, man.
Well, we got to do that. I mean, this is important because, unfortunately, there are folks out there who are afraid to talk this stuff. They're afraid that it's going to affect how they're viewed in the community. Well, I don't care. I just flat out don't care. I'm not willingly a part of the community. I've just been adopted into the community. And I don't care if we make waves. I don't care if we say things that are unpopular with other people. We're only presenting the data. You don't have to believe it. And I don't care if you believe it. The data doesn't care. I think Joe made that perfectly clear at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't care.
My MO has always been in everything that I've been involved in to infiltrate the system and subvert your own methodologies and ideologies from within until they feel like it's a natural idea. And
you're just trying to brainwash people. I ain't doing that.
Pretty much. But no, like it's a good technique. It's what I've done in every business move, like work related business stuff that I've had to do, is integrate into the system to the point where they think you're one of them, and then everything you do that's strange becomes so normal. They're just like, this is acceptable.
Well, but it happens. I mean, like we said, these things happen. People are afraid to talk about them because, they may be a certain type of researcher that doesn't cross that line. Then you're not a researcher. It's just that simple. I was told not to lie, and I don't. And I don't care if anyone believes me. It doesn't matter. Someone was asking about, you can't expect us to believe that. No, I don't expect you to believe anything. I expect you to look at the data. And unless you understand what you're looking at, then you're probably not going to get it regardless. You're just looking
Right.
at it as entertainment, and that's different, you know.
Well, and what we've done in the
Mm.
community is we force them to say the hard things, and the hard thing is I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we've made that comfortable again
Yeah,
in a
it's
lot of ways.
okay. It's yeah, it's
And
okay to say I don't know. That this doesn't
and
make sense.
we've gotten people that would never in a million years ever talk about their strangest, most unusual sightings, especially within the Bigfoot community. We've gotten people to come out and share those stories, not only with us, but with far more people than that at this point,
Mhm.
and become comfortable with the fact of saying, "Well, this isn't Bigfoot related, but I really don't know what it was, but this is what happened." And it was a sighting that took place. It was an incident that did take place, and there were metrics recorded. There were, we had this piece of equipment that did X, and it didn't, or it did Y, you know, and we've that's what we've done. We've been good. We've been a good catalyst for that kind of thinking. Tony says, off topic, Grafton Monster is a white haired Bigfoot, have something in common besides collar. They're associated with whistling sound. That is off topic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
But that's a good one.
You know.
I've never heard that they were
Mm.
associated with whistling. I
Hey,
always thought they were associated with high speeds and curves.
well, yeah, absolutely. And we try to address some of those those concerns that people had last week on the episode. And I think we got a few of them, but there's a few more over there that we could probably address. Um, and they're fun. Again, everybody has their own rights to believe whatever they want. Again, but if you're not paying attention to what's there, it clearly means you don't understand it yourself. I think that's what it comes down to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Or
and
you're
here's
so locked in with
to your belief system.
your own belief system that you
Mhm.
can't budge.
Yeah, yeah. And here's a good one for you. This is from someone who responded over there about a day ago. And this is one of my favorite ones. They liked, the freshness of it and how it gives a realness to the legend. However, they really can't buy into the evidence in quotes here. The spikes in the woods is the early part. It was nothing significant. The stars and satellites alone will make one of those counters go up. No, they will not.
They will, but everything's broken at that point if it does.
Yeah, everything's broken if the stars make those counters go up. Okay, and this
Yeah,
almost sounds
we
like somebody I know. Almost sounds like somebody we've run into. I don't
it
think it
does.
is,
It
but
does
boy,
sound
it
like
sure
somebody
sounds
that
like it.
it sounds like somebody
Mm.
who may or may not have been at the
Maybe
Mothman,
I don't know. We'll
uh,
see.
festival
Anyway, so the stars and
Q&A.
satellites make our meters go up, guys. Just to let you guys know. Alone, our planet is bombarded with those signals from modern technology over great distances, let alone from space. Literally, hundreds of other things could have been responsible. Nothing is trying to communicate with your team. You are not significant enough to draw these things' attentions. And even if it was real, I love the testimony and I love the spirit of it. For that alone, this makes a good watching experience. It's just entertainment to these people. And that's what I
You
heard. This is someone who's locked into their belief systems and doesn't understand the technology. That would be like me walking in to an airport and saying, I'm here to test drive this 747. It's okay. I can fly it. No, for real. That's what you're looking at
Yeah,
because
I've
you
played enough
don't.
video games. I think I can do it.
Yeah, I think I can do it. I think I know how reality works. This can't happen. Well, you know enough about reality to know that there are waves in the air. Yes, I'll give you that. Um, we know enough about reality to know that we know what waves are in the air. That's what
Yeah.
a spectrum analyzer does. It actually tells us what frequency we're looking at. Okay. Um, when the spectrum analyzer is picking up stuff and your other instruments aren't picking up stuff, for example, you have an issue. If you've got a Geiger counter picking up stuff, no. you're going to have to explain to me how we have a localized gamma event, a radiation event that's in a area that is no bigger than 50, maybe what you think, 50, 60 feet, something like that.
Oh yeah. It's
Very
50,
small, very small area. So you're going to have to explain that to me. And satellites don't do that. Um, Stars don't typically do that. That's not, again, like Joe said, if that's the case, then it would have been it wouldn't have been a localized event. It would have been a massive event. We would have picked it up on Geiger counters 1, 2, or 3, because there was 3 on site at the time.
and then everything would have gone dark.
And it probably, more than likely. So
We
no,
would
they
have seen
don't.
the stars really good at that point.
Yeah, they don't do that. Nice try. Wonderful try. But this is the thing. You don't judge people based upon your belief system.
Yeah.
Look at the
I'm
data.
significant, dang it.
No, you're not significant at all. Yeah, hillbilly.
Yeah, right, you hillbilly.
Oh
Oh,
God.
jeez.
So anyway,
I get it.
yeah,
I'm fat, I'm bald, and I've
these
got
are
a little bit
great.
of an accent. Come
These
on.
are great. And then you got your other one thinks it's demons and so forth, but I don't even care about that. But yeah, that's a good way of just saying I don't know how those machines work.
Right,
That's pretty
right.
much what I heard. You
Ashley
know.
said that's like when someone tells me that they think Patty is a guy in a suit. The only people who think that don't have all the facts. It's true.
Yep.
Enzo says, didn't you know that everyone on the internet is an expert? Sploot,
Yep.
have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us as long as
Thank
you did. Get ready for that shift. Localized is really, really hard to explain, Jason. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That localized gamma radiation spike was very strange. It shouldn't have happened. We had previous episodes where we had localized microwave radiation, and it was directional and not being blocked by line of sight at all. It was so strange.
Oh no,
Then,
it was very strange. And again, the challenge is there. Go explain it, but you're going to have to explain it 100%. You can't explain it by, well, come on, that there's satellites and that there's radiation. Yeah, there's all those things. There's a lot more things too that exists. Those things do not occur at the same times. They do not occur when all these other things are happening. So, if you want to think that, that's cool. I mean, again, it doesn't matter. Believe what you will, but don't accuse us of not knowing how to use our equipment.
right. Yeah, that's just like we might be hillbillies.
I'm not a hillbilly. I'm not from Earth.
That's right. We've come back circle again, huh? So we it's we might not look like people who have walked off of some scientific laboratory wearing our jackets and all that stuff, but we do know our equipment pretty well. We have extensive backgrounds in working with technology, and I've got a pretty good idea that, like, if we sat in a room with that same person who made that comment, they would feel very, very out of place when they actually had a conversation with us. And the depth of knowledge that we could go into on some of these things that has nothing to do with paranormal or high strangeness, but just science or mechanics and engineering and electromagnetism and just naturally known stuff. That there is a vast well of information between the two of us that we have amassed over the years because we're geeks.
Oh, total geeks. And please don't talk about trees because we will never leave. So we'll start running his mouth, and
It'll be a tree
you will
episode.
be sorry that you ever mentioned trees, ever.
Yeah, I'm a certified master naturalist. That is another thing that we do. But yeah. But Ratliff, yeah, you're absolutely right. The old hillbilly stereotype, 100%. They take by just the way our voices sound. That
I love it. I wasn't even wearing my hat in that episode.
Yeah, and you're right. And I was getting flack for mine. I'm bald, people. I've had skin cancer cut off my body once. I was in the Air Force in my teens and early 20s in Florida. Of course, I was running around out in the sun and got baked all the time. Like that's just what it was. And I got skin cancer. Now I do everything I can to prevent that because that freaking hurt.
Well,
Ashley says, I can't imagine thinking either of you are hillbillies.
yeehaw. Thank you, Ashley.
I was gonna say you're both too geeky to be hillbillies in the kindest way, kinda.
Oh no, I took it as an absolute compliment. Thank you,
You're
Ashley.
right, but like at the same token, I went through survival training and I'm a master naturalist, do DNR stuff, very hillbilly kind of things,
Well, I mean, I went
and
to
I found that like
Sissonville
I
for,
anymore my accent has kind of crept back a little bit,
mm.
and I used to not have one, but now I use words like used to not.
What is a used to not?
Exactly.
Is that like an astronaut, but used to be a astronaut?
Kinda.
I don't know. I grew up in Sissonville and went to Sissonville high school and so forth. So I never quite fit in. They actually didn't believe I was from there. It was really funny. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
I'll be a happy camper. Joe speaks my language. Oh man. The research and data starts to paint a picture after a while, and that paint isn't watercolor. You can't erase things that are clear and in front of your face. You're 100% right.
Well, you can't erase them, but you can ignore they're there. And that's what a lot of people do. It doesn't fit their paradigm. It doesn't fit what they want it to be. Therefore, there you go. It's obviously an equipment failure.
Maybe they're used to knots on the tie and gong.
There could be. There are used to knots up there.
Oh, this is great. Enzo, I love you.
Oh my God.
Like that is 100% my brand of humor right there. 100%.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's true.
I get it. I get it. People see us online. They don't know us. Whatever. It is what it is. But like some of the assertions that these people make, like it's demons. Guys.
Oh yeah. The demon people are my favorite.
Well, the best one was the one that called us hillbillies, was the ones that said, well, of course, when hillbillies go out in the dark and start talking to something, demons are going to respond.
That was the best ever. And it made me laugh. And how we needed to have, Jesus in our life and all that. And I'm like, well, I'm out there with a pastor. I don't think I can get much closer, but
Jace said, I don't know about y'all, but I'm proud to be a mountaineer. I can hunt, gather fish, farm,
Yeah.
etc., and still comprehend white papers or build a rocket. Absolutely.
Right. Yep. There you go.
We
Exactly.
got our very own redneck rocketeer right here in Jason Ratliff.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it works.
He was building rockets, he was, that's what Jason was doing there for a while. He mentioned it earlier up in the comments.
Yep.
When we get up there in the Eastern Pan, we're going to have to definitely get together. He does live up that way, Ron. So we'll have to get together, grab some food, and have some really interesting conversations, I'm sure.
We'll do that as long as the Houstonites don't get us.
Right. Houstonauts, definitely an alien species that used to not be dead. Oh, but now they are, and they used to not. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Demons.
Oh man, this is getting to be deep.
Yeah,
you guys, I swear, it just gets better every week.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, the data doesn't lie. You're right, but the data also doesn't mean anything to people who can't read the data. And that's not being mean. That's just the truth. Like there are pieces of equipment I can look at and be like, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to be smart and say, I don't know what that means. Can you tell me? I'm not going to look at it and say, that's wrong because I can't read it.
Right.
Or that's obviously an error because, I'm going to look at that data you showed me from the Giza pyramid or the Khufu or whatever it was, Khafre pyramid. And I'm going to just interpret that as, well, that's clearly just dirt underground, and there's rocks, and you guys should know that that's just dirt and rocks.
Because my history book says so.
Right, exactly. And,
True.
that's a bad thing because we think we know stuff, and that's the problem. And I think that that's one of the reasons that we get in so much trouble with people, and it's also why people like us, because we will tell you we don't know,
Yeah.
but we'll also tell you that this is the data. I know what causes that data. I
Right.
can tell you what causes this data. Now, I don't care what you think made that happen, but this is what actually created that.
That's right, Jason. All data requires interpretation. It does. People think they know so much stuff, and I'm sick of it. Yes, just because you have the internet at the fingertips does not make you a scholar. You can
Yeah.
sound scholarly, you can sound brilliant, but when you
Yeah.
put two people in the field and
Yeah.
you say, go find a UFO, I know two guys who are going to be able to do it quicker than the majority of the rest of the human race. I can say that pretty confidently.
Giorgio Tsoukalos and who?
Um, it'd be Giorgio and probably Reverend Carter. Reverend
Yeah.
Carter would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then these guys.
Oh, well, yeah, they don't
They
count.
just, they just get on the intercom and say, hey,
They don't count.
come get me.
They don't count. But no, it's fun for what it is, again, I don't really care what people believe, and it doesn't matter. We're not here for the people who don't believe. We're here for the people who want to look at possibilities, and
Yeah.
then they can make up their own mind what it is.
Jason says, does it lie? No. Sometimes the interpretation bias does, however. Yeah, and that's where a lot of stuff gets really messed up and broken is especially in these papers, these research papers and things, they go in with an idea and they feel as if they have to prove the idea. Sometimes finding out you're wrong is just as impressive,
Yeah.
like, well, here was my theory and it seems like it makes really good sense. It seems very sound. And then I go out and do the research, find out that the theory in fact is not correct, but we did find out some sort of mechanism that does work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just as groundbreaking because, X might not have left you at Y, but it took you to Z. So
Yep.
I love when people come to my show and hear my opinion on a topic and then get mad at me as if I forced them there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's great, ain't it? It's just awesome.
So do you want MIB? Because this is how you get an MIB infestation. Could be. Dances, it's good seeing you tonight. We will see you in person next week. Speaking of, we're wrapping up. We're getting here close to the end. And just as a reminder, next week, if you're in the region and you want to come hang out with us, we're going to be hosting the very first quarterly get together. And we're going to explore the unknown. It is going to be March 29th at 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Location is 267 Staunton Avenue, Southwest South Charleston, 25303. This is going to be the inaugural event. We're going to have data reveals, presentations, equipment demos, maybe some workshops. We're going to do some kind of workshop. Definitely. We're going to have food, taco bar. There's going to be door prizes, potluck. Everybody's going to be bringing some desserts, and it's going to be family friendly. So bring your kids if you want. It is going to be a friendly environment. We're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff. So it's going to be a blast. If you're in the area and you can make the drive and or even want to stay the night, there are several hotels in the region, and there is nothing going on that night in the area. So all the hotels should have fairly reasonable rates going on as well. Let's see, you guys. We will be having the next event where you'll be able to
be Nitro, right?
Horizon. What is it?
When's the Nitro thing? It should be up there.
Nitro. Let's see. Project Odd is going to be 5/31. That's going to be the next local event you're going to be able to catch us at. But on 5-2 and 5-3 and 5-4, you're going to be able to find us at OBC as well. We're going to be there. It's the first big event of the year for us, and we're going to be there. You never know who else might show up with us, and it's going to be a pretty interesting time. I know a lot of friends that are going to be showing up. It is kind of like a family reunion for us, similar to Mothman, but a little bit more laid back, and you can hang out and spend some time with people. It makes things real nice. Then after that, there's a UFO festival that we're doing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Saucers over Appalachia. We will be there. We don't have the poster for that one yet.
No, we do not.
The only one I've been able to find is on Instagram, and the quality transition over here is terrible. So it gets real pixelated, and nobody wants to see that. So we're going to get a high quality poster, and we'll throw it up here next week. Let's see, guys. So if you're in the area, come by next weekend, next Saturday. It's going to be fun. Taco bar, potluck, all kinds of gear and technology, conversations about high strangeness. Basically this, but with people together.
Real people.
Yeah.
And that way, if you want to disagree with something, it can be shown. I may even bring some radiation. I probably will. I'll bring something radioactive so we can dose Joe and show you what it looks like in person.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be good times. Good times.
Be fun.
Hey, but Jason, we are doing these quarterly, so don't feel bad if you're missing this one. They're all going to be the same. Everybody that donates here is what's keeping these events free. We're going to feed people while we're there. It's going to be fun.
And hopefully,
don't forget, it is like a 4.5 hour drive for you.
Yeah. And hopefully, the more that we can get those little donations here and there, we're going to bring in some guests. Let's just say that. And,
absolutely.
Because why not?
You will like them.
Yeah. Because that's what it's about. It's not about going out there and making money, because we're not vending. There's no vendors. Right. This is free. This is the whole point, was to keep it free, and to have it actually funded by us and you, all of us together. The collective, the thing it's called,
together as designed.
It was made to be that way. So, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get out there and see you guys and have us all to sit down and share some tacos, maybe go over some Zinner cards. I don't know. It's just hard to tell what's going to happen.
You'll have to do that live for sure. We're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff. We'll have, we'll have the Muse headsets there with us. We can put those on people, let them give those a try. It'll be really fun. But yeah, you guys who are going to be coming out, we can't wait to see you guys. And then there's all the events we've got lined up so far, that are coming up soon. Anywho,
so far.
And then we're working on scheduling our late spring, early summer workshop too.
Yep.
And we're working on planning. We're still planning the October High Strangeness workshop is going to be going on. That's going to be in October. Apart from these meetings, this is going to be completely separate. Our workshop events, those are separate animal than these meetings. LR says, great show tonight. Sorry I was listening while doing stuff. Hey, man, whatever, man. You're all good. You were listening. That's all that matters.
I don't think we showed anything except for the video of the Chinese space station thing there. So
Tiangong.
Yeah, I think it's about all you missed with the video. So this could have been a podcast, honestly, and it might be.
Might be. There've been plenty of funny rants for sure.
There's been some good stuff.
Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Remember, if you want to reach out to us to tell us a story or ask about coming on the show live with us, send us an email at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. If you've had a sighting that you want to report officially, go to wildandweirdwv.com, click report a sighting tab, fill out the questionnaire, and we'll be with you shortly. Kenny Hess is saying the Charleston or Taze Valley would have the best hotels. Agreed. Taze Valley and Charleston are going to probably have your best ideas for hotels coming into the area. As far as restaurants go, I only know of one that has a restaurant in it, but like all the decent restaurants in the area are around the hotels. So I would go hit those up. Which and paranormal and Wandberry Hall are the same. Any paranormal stuff I can bring for show and tell, whatever you want to bring.
Yeah, bring what you want to bring, for real. Yeah. And you can talk about it a little bit. We're not going to just take the floor. This is for everybody to have this massive discussion, just like you do right here.
But
There will be a
without
little
having to read the
presentation.
text.
Yes, it's going to be fun. You're going to like it. It's a very interactive, real thing. It's almost like virtual reality, but it's real.
Will Margarita Ron and Glow and Joe be
What?
at this meeting? Which variant will we be encountering?
Oh,
Just
geez.
depends on which one the time crystal chooses.
Yeah, you never know, because I don't know what my time crystal is going to do, Tony. Might malfunction.
Thank you, Ron and Joe, for another great Thursday evening. Glad you've had a good time. Thanks for hanging out with us all the way out there from the West. You're not West Coast. You're West Coast adjacent. Donna, thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you. Everybody, stay safe out there. And remember, glowing tacos from Glow and Joe next week. Then next Thursday, we have something else going on. I think it's the live next Thursday. Is that right, Ron? We're same bat channel, same bat place. Going to be right here live.